it seems like it's been going on for a while, and I'm just hoping we're building a community that'll speak up and hold these officers accountable. Change needs to happen, and that starts with behavior. So that's what I'm looking for, change behavior. I have kids that'll be driving soon, so it's not just about me, it's about my kids, your kids, you right now that's out there driving. And if something has happened, reach out. I think we're building a great community, a great group of people that are here to help. So let's come together and figure
Okay,
out what
sounds
we
like a
can do to make
plan.
change.
Yeah. I mean, like you were talking about, Bobby. Yeah, every single infraction of your fundamental rights enshrined in that Bill of Rights, and not just what's there, but what you can pull from life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. If you're aware of them, then yeah, you can catch them on an infraction. But the problem is that especially in today's society, most people, and as we know, a lot of your public officials, they don't even know what the Bill of Rights say. They don't know what their fundamental rights are to even be aware that they're being
Well,
violated.
most of them think the Bill of Rights is legal. Like, it ain't.
No. Um, so you see what you done started, Law?
Yeah.
You see what you
It's
started?
needed though. It's needed. Like
Yeah.
accountability is necessary.
Right. And you speaking up has sparked a lot of people who are starting to speak up in one area. And I've always said, look, the trying to fight the federal government is an illusion. That's a hamster wheel. You have to start in your local area, and your story is what's bringing locals to come together. And again, we're going to have Mr. McCrary and Mr. Mathis on later to show that, for one thing, like your incident is not an isolated incident, right?
Exactly.
Now, while we got Bobby on, Sabrina, she's been running with me for a long time now, but she's recently had an event too. And I want to go ahead and share my screen and show you a little bit
Okay.
of what she's dealing with up in Gwinnett County. So you guys let me know. You can see the multiverse. All right. So this is a video that Sabrina put together that, on a case that she's having to do herself because the Bar Association once again proved themselves to be golfing buddies with the court. So I'm going to play a little bit of this for you, Bobby. And Law, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but this is what
Yeah.
you have. Yeah, this is horrible.
Mhm.
So this is just to give you a little bit of context. I'll tell you what, Sabrina, give him a little bit of context before I hit play.
Essentially, they're coming to arrest me, alleging that I've had a warrant for over 7 years related to a speeding case in which they're saying I did not satisfy going to driving school.
Okay, so that's the setup. So she drives by a flock camera recently installed in Gwinnett County, and then this protection and serving takes place.
This one. I couldn't see it.
Becca.
Hey.
An awful lot of presents. What's up?
Are you Sabrina?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Yeah.
Are you today?
It depends. Why are there so many cops here?
Well, this is our whole unit.
Hey. It's an awful lot of presents. What's up? Are you Sabrina? Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Yeah.
Are you today?
It depends. Why are there so many cops here?
Well, this is our whole unit. This
is
kind of our
Oh, show up in big. It's cool.
Well, the last house we had 5.
Nice.
All right, so you are Sabrina? What? So essentially, something happens to where, did you get a citation or anything back in 2017 or anything like that from Gwinnett?
I have no idea. If you look at my record, I have a speeding habit.
Okay.
And there was a time where I went through several freaking speeding tickets throughout the entire state of Georgia.
So what normally happens with these is some condition wasn't met. So we have nothing, we're not able to access the full thing right now. We just have a warrant signed by a judge. Okay. So typically it's some condition wasn't met and the judge signed for an incarceration.
That's a bit extreme for speeding. Okay.
If that is what it was.
Okay, don't you think that before you arrest somebody, you should have all your information?
You're coming to a single mom's home. My 13-year-old child is in the house.
Okay.
Okay. There is nobody here to take care of her, my dogs, and you're going to show up with this amount of cops and be like, you have a speeding ticket from 2017?
No, the warrant's from 2017.
What the hell? This is 2024. That's 7 years ago.
I understand.
What bug is up your guys' ass that makes you want to knock on my door with this amount of fucking force and be like, it's time to go to jail, Sabrina, because you were speeding in Gwinnett 7 years ago?
That's not up to us. It was
all my fines.
It was a warrant signed by a judge, not by us.
Okay, go bark up the judge's ass.
That's not how this works.
Oh, you come and arrest people and expect them to deal with the mess that you guys
Because
created.
it should have been dealt with before we
It
got
was
here.
dealt with. Everything
Okay,
that has ever
we
showed
don't have
up.
all the small
Then go
details.
to the court and get it.
That's not how it works.
Oh, I should deal with it? I'm pretty sure that is how it works. You
No,
guys
ma'am. You go in
investigate.
front of the judge.
No, I'm not going in front of a judge. The judge has an issue that he signed a warrant for my arrest, and he should have some details as to why he signed that warrant. It's called the Constitution. I have rights.
I understand that, and you are detained at this point because you have a warrant.
I'm not detained.
You are.
I
I'm telling you.
am
You are.
not detained.
I'm telling you.
That
you
is not happening right now.
It is.
It's absolutely not happening right now.
Yes, ma'am.
No, it's
what's
really
happening
not.
right now is we've asked for dispatch to reach out to the reporter's court.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody will get a physical copy of it
Mhm.
and look at it.
Great.
If they want you, then you've got to go.
Well,
Because
let's
they're
get that all
gonna-
in order. Let's get that all in order.
Like my sergeant has already told you, all right, they're going to go check and make sure that they want you. If not, you'll have to call.
Let me ask you something.
Okay.
Why wasn't the check already done?
Because
Do you realize
So it's
I'm
called
infuriated because you're
it's
showing up to my
called-
house with this amount of
do you
force?
want to let me speak to your question or no?
Go for it.
Okay. What happens is if we confirm a warrant before we have that person physically in front of us or in handcuffs, all right, then that warrant's confirmed and it says they're there, we're going to sign it. Okay. That's how that process works. So without you physically there or in custody and it's not confirmed, it goes out of the system. So that warrant is no longer active and valid and it says you've been incarcerated, but you're not there. Okay.
It really makes no sense to me.
Well,
I got to
that-
be completely honest
well,
with you.
that's how
No
it
part
works,
of what
Miss
you're
Sabrina.
saying makes sense.
That's
okay?
how it works.
You guys are telling me
I will
that
tell you how
some
we
judge
I will tell you
in
how we stumbled
Gwinnett
upon
gets
this.
to say, you know what? Oh, here's a file of somebody I don't really give a fuck about today. Let me just put some misery in their life.
Miss Sabrina, I'll explain to you how we came upon your warrant today.
Okay.
All right. So all
I'm
over
gonna
the state
pause
of
it
Georgia,
right
there
there
are
and
these
say,
cameras called flock
audience should
cameras.
take note to the flock camera comment.
Your tag readers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You were driving in Gwinnett earlier today.
Walmart.
Over there,
Okay, so at Walmart.
off Sardis Church in Hamilton.
Okay,
Yes,
that's Gwinnett?
that's Gwinnett.
Fair.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. We got alerted that someone named Sabrina, with your date of birth, okay, associated with that
So
vehicle.
basically, I went by the prison over here. They got a bug up their ass to read my tag illegally.
It's
and
not
here you
illegal.
are.
Your tag's on by
No,
the
reading
state.
a tag without freaking needing to read a tag is illegal.
How do you think we do our jobs?
Yeah,
We
illegally.
It's not illegal.
Yes, it really is. You
That-
guys like
that-
to believe it's
no.
not, but you violate the Constitution every
That
day.
plate is owned by the state, not by you.
You want it back? I don't really care for
That's-
it. I
that's
signed
up
up
to
to
you.
it to play your guys' game,
You-
but I really don't believe in it.
You can turn it in if you would like, but I
I
wouldn't
would
be caught on
love
the
to.
I wouldn't be caught on the road without it.
Yeah, I know.
So
Pinch
that plate is owned by the state of Georgia.
Great.
All right. Those cameras associated that tag
Yeah.
to your name, which has a
It's
warrant.
illegal things.
It's not illegal.
It is highly illegal.
It is
Go
every
get her.
All right, Mr. Bruno. So here's the thing. Your warrant was confirmed. So at this
For
moment,
what?
like I said,
No, no. Ah, no! Ow! What are you doing? Stop! Stop! You're gonna scare my
I'm
dog!
gonna show my
Stop!
screen real quick, and I'm going to say what I have to say before I open up the floor. For one, I think that all of our melanated brothers and sisters on this call know, and I think that Sabrina would also concede that if she looked like any of you, that conversation would never have gone that far, especially in Georgia.
For two very, very big reasons. One, my parents would have taught me better. and two, because yeah, I get it. I didn't originally understand that level of mentality because of the past that I've had with
So what was
police.
the warrant for?
They claim that I did not fulfill going to an 8-hour driver's education class.
You got your license, right?
7 years? 7 years ago?
It's going on 8 now, I think. In 2016,
So
wherever we're at.
So the one they done threw it out. They took you. How long you stayed in jail?
I stayed in jail from about 8:30 p.m. until 4 a.m. ish
And
the
they let
next
you go.
morning. Yeah.
All
Oh,
that-
it gets so much better. There's so much more to this case. There was a cash bond. You know, the receipt for that is literally written on a piece of paper this big. You know,
What was the charge?
that I guess I did not, because the driving school was part of my sentencing for speeding in 2016, and they're saying that they didn't receive that paper that says that I completed driving school. They said that I've had this warrant basically for the entire time.
So you did.
Yeah.
So you did finish the school?
Oh yeah. So my punishment was a fee, driving school, and then community service
So
on
you
the
did-
correctional
I'm saying,
facility.
did you finish the school?
Every bit of it. Every bit of
She has
it.
the
No,
paperwork
I'm
to
talking about
prove it.
before they came to arrest you.
Oh yes, yes.
Oh, well, you need to be. How long ago that been?
That's 7 years, going on 8.
Yeah, you should have sued them about that. But listen, a warrant.
But the arrest was in 2024, right?
Oh, the
The
arrest,
rest
yeah.
just happened.
The arrest
like,
just
The
happened
arrest
in
just
July.
happened.
The
yeah.
arrest you win?
In July of
The
last
arrest
year.
2020.
Oh yeah, you need to sue. I mean,
Well, I'm working on that. I hired a lawyer immediately getting out of the
you
court.
need to sue that. But listen, this is what a warrant. When they say you got a warrant for your arrest, they say they couldn't tell you what it was. Then a warrant is invalid if it doesn't have a supporting affidavit to tell you what the warrant for. So if a warrant does not have a supporting affidavit, the warrant is invalid anyway.
Yes. And I, like I said, there's so much more to this. You'll see that this is targeted. This is fabricated.
Yeah.
I would sue them. I would sue them. Not only sue them, but I would take criminal charges out of them.
I'm working on it so hard. I've been denied lawyer support. They've denied me. Basically, I've been trying to get Information Act fulfilled, and they've been denying them. I've paid a lawyer to defend me, and that lawyer basically just took my money and said, here's $400 back. Have a nice day. They've literally destroyed evidence that I was in jail that night. They never booked me. And now they're trying to cover their butts.
Did you file agreements for the fee? It's called an arbitration agreements with the state bar.
That, I think, is what the lawyer did, and that's how she got that money back.
Okay.
So yeah, I got that $400 back. I never had to go to court. I never got to
no record of the court. Yeah, you need to file it. You know what you need to do? Just file a color of law complaint. I'll send you an example of one. You just follow the script and take it to the FBI certified court processor or deliver it with the news media in person.
Okay.
And so, Joy, are you're finding that in pursuing any kind of justice in your case, the same kind of resistance from the system as you just heard from Sabrina?
So initially we couldn't even get records. They were altering documents, like all the fees that we paid for my companion, like with the courts down here. They started changing the amounts. We were catching them up in so much stuff. Like, I mean, every time you turn around, it was something corrupt. So actively right now, we were pro se for our case, and we just had a librarian person help us to type it because I've got issues with my hand from surgery, so we can't really, with disabilities type much. But the lawyers all around here, there's only like 1 or 2 that are legit. The rest of them, They play golf together. They hang out together with these judges. They are buddy with the cops, and they pretty much will tell you in your face like, "Oh well, haha, we actually got into it with one of the attorneys because she's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna tell everybody about y'all's case and to tell them not to help y'all."
Yes.
And she did just
Yes.
that. Then she lied the day of
They'll
court and said,
blacklist you.
what did she say? She said, "Oh, I know y'all left a bad review against me on Raven, and so I'm not here to help you, this and that, acting a fool." And I'm like, I don't even know what Raven is, but she's doing this in the courtroom. In the courtroom right before trial. Like, they literally are some of the nastiest people I have ever seen, and you would not think this was still going on in 2025.
So
And
let me ask.
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go
Oh,
ahead.
I was just going to say, and so we tried to get out to the news about this officer. We've tried to reach out. This is not something that just now started. We've been trying to reach out about this since 2019 for other things this officer did. The complaints that were filed, he don't have no record because they're not putting it on his file.
Well, unfortunately, I know all of you guys probably know the news now that the national database of police reports or any kind of complaints, anything like that, has been deleted. So he doesn't have a record now for sure.
Do you have did you file locally to get his open records request, to get his records locally? They didn't give them to you?
We couldn't, for one, we couldn't even get our own stuff. They withheld our own court transcripts for the longest. We couldn't even get the transcripts for the court.
Let's go back.
They withheld that.
Okay, let's go back.
But
Go back to me.
for his open records, I think he doesn't even have a record at all. Like, they kept it all clear.
He got a record. Everything that he has done at that local level is through the Sunshine Law, the open records request. And by law, I just had to do one on the State Patrol. The Attorney General called me Friday and said you'll have those records for the end of the week out. They don't play.
I'm gonna go back and look through our file and see, because we got stacks of stuff.
And then you can you got to do like they do to you. It's the history that makes us. So you got to get the officer complete background. You got to get his local background. Then you start off with going to post certification. Post is to get his main records. And I can send you all the emails. You can email later send it right over to you. Or you can email me. Just give me his name and I'll email it, and she'll send it right over to me, and I'll send it to you.
Okay.
It'll tell you every job.
Can you put your email in the chat?
Can you do it, Daniel?
Let's see here. Yeah, I'll make sure that you guys get connected.
Okay.
I'll put his email in the chat.
You'll get a post certification to have every job he done had. So you don't know what he done did at the next job he done had, and you can get all this. I eat they behind up with it.
See, Law? Now, hang on, Mr. Roy. Law, you see how fortunate you are. You hear some of these horror stories and the other horror stories that you've heard from Mr. McCrary, Mr. Mathis, and you are at an advantage right now where you, aren't going to get caught up in the Bar Association's game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why I
reached out to Law. I saw it on his story on YouTube, and that's when I reached out to him.
Right. Yeah. So tell you two tell us about that. How you guys got connected, Bobby and Law. Law, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I had posted it and it did go crazy immediately, and it wasn't much help. That's one of the things I think everybody struggles with, is just feeling alone in these situations. And I appreciate Mr. Worthy and everybody else that sort of stepped up, and he was the main person, like, this is what you have to do. Because at that point in time, I just needed some guidance, just what to do. The accountability needed to be had, and it didn't seem like it was going to happen, but he saw the video and he reached out, and he's been talking to me daily ever since that day. So yeah.
Right. So and I like Bobby. Me and Bobby, we've been talking here in the past week, and I told him last night, I said, and I hope you don't mind, Bobby, but I said, I've had all this stuff in my mind for over almost 20 years, and you're made to be gaslit. You're made to feel like you're crazy when you're like, Jesus, Yickwa versus Hopkins, Marbury versus Madison, Shuttlesworth versus Alabama. And Bobby's like, I know, man. They'll try to make you feel crazy. And, they'll gaslight you, especially with the Bar Association. They'll gaslight you to make you think that you were the criminal by the end of the day if you don't know what your rights are. And that's one of the reasons that a lot of people, they don't speak up. and they just
I go off
they
from
go
my
along to
court.
get
I
along.
told the judge,
But
"You're gonna you ain't gonna act that way in my courtroom." I said, "Well, I believe the courtroom belongs to the taxpayers, not you. If you died today, it'll be another judge there, so you don't own nothing to him."
mhm. So, Bobby, whenever you saw Law Story and you got in touch, or you guys got in touch, what avenue are you looking at his case? Like, what avenue were you
Well, I'm definitely
considering,
going
and
to
what
secure a
actions
warrant.
have you
I
taken?
just get the time. I'm waiting on some more records. I'm definitely coming to secure a warrant for the officer's arrest. I reached out to y'all, Lyoya magistrate judge. I sent her 2 letters by email, and I sent her one by certified court process, same letter. She hasn't responded to either one. So now I'm on file what they call a writ of mandamus to force her to answer my letter. And you got a copy of the letter, right? I'll send it to you. Then I'm sending you the
Yeah, I'm
letter
pulling it
from
up right
the
now.
magistrate judge. And what the magistrate judges are doing, a lot of them do it, is they'll tell you you can't fill out a warrant application if you don't have a police report. So when I called down to the House County magistrate, I talked to the little secretary, and she said, "Well, our magistrate don't allow you to fill out a warrant application without you having a police report." I said, "Ma'am, did you read the law? There's nowhere in the law that says I have to have a police report. It says just fill out an application, pay you $20. That's what the law says. So how does the magistrate dictate what the law says when the law does not say it? She can't change the law, or she can't add to the law. So since she doesn't respond to me, I'm gonna put her ass in the courthouse as a defendant."
Now, just for context, you guys, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So just for context, Bobby sent me this last night. And I thought, Mona could tell you I smiled from ear to ear when I saw this, because you said pay attention to Section C right here. So first, the setup is you petition for a warrant of arrest. Is that right, Bobby?
Yes.
And then the magistrate court here in Houston County, is this correct? They told you, well, you have to have a police report,
Yes.
right? Okay. And then you pointed out OCGA C, Section C here. And what is it's OCGA whatever 17-1- whatever, because easy. But Section C says any warrant for the arrest of a peace officer, law enforcement officer, defects case manager, teacher, or school administrator for any offense alleged to have been committed while in the performance of his or her duties may be issued only by a judge of a superior court, a judge of a state court, or a judge of a probate court. Now, do you guys understand what Bobby is talking about here about why he has a problem with them requiring a police report? Anybody? Bueller?
Wait a minute.
Don't mention it. Hey, send them.
Does it say that?
Hey,
does it say that you have to have a police report right here in their code?
No, it says only a judge can issue it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then magistrate court, they have to go. The magistrate have to transfer it to probate court because magistrate judges are not on that list. There go the letter I sent directly.
So then you followed up with this letter. Is that right, Bobby?
That
this is the letter that you sent the magistrate court. See, we are deeply disturbed by the unlawful acts of the Houston County Magistrate Court, as well as numerous other magistrate courts in the state of Georgia, which appear to believe they can unilaterally modify the OCGA by adding to it. The black letter of the law cannot be altered at a local level. Such authority exceeds local jurisdiction. We demand accountability for effective changes. Your actions are unjustified, and your alleged immunity is inapplicable due to your intention to breach your oath of office. Denying a citizen's rights to apply for a warrant application solely because they lack a police report is unlawful. OCGA 17440B1. If an application is made for a warrant by a person other than a police officer or law enforcement officer, and the application alleges the commission of an offense or multiple offenses against penal laws by one alleged offender, the judge or other officer shall schedule a warrant application hearing as provided in this subsection. Notice, the law does not require that you must have a police report. My question is simple. If the black letter of the law does not require a police report, then by what authority do you have to require a police report? Houston County Magistrate Court does not have the authority to change the law, nor add to it. Remember, OCGA 136 states, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Respectfully submitted, Bobby Worthy. I think that is awesome. Absolutely awesome, Bobby. And
absolutely,
you submitted that and you haven't gotten a response yet. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, she ain't gonna respond, but I sent it to the Judicial Qualification Commission, a copy of it.
All right.
So I'm gonna make a defendant.
I hear, and they're not accustomed to this.
I done did everything that was required by law. Now I'm gonna get ignorant on their ass.
And most people wouldn't, because this is the thing. They make these rules up within their bar association club, and they get away with it for so long, and nobody ever calls them out on it. But you guys all right here just saw how easy he pointed out. Look, it doesn't say you have to have a police report. What are you guys doing? Where and asking that question, where do you get the authority to do this?
And she ain't the only one. There's a whole lot of them that do that same thing.
All of them. Yep. We got some proof. There's another video I'm gonna have to make sure y'all have, but we got another video where we uncover all their corruption down there and how they were altering documents and forging signatures and
man, we all need to go to the color. We need to go to that.
Yeah, it was awful. But like when we would speak out, it was like right now we have a lawsuit in the courts. We have like 1 month left to refile whatever we need to file before they dismiss it, because right now it's not fully closed out. But I'm like,
did they try to dismiss it yet?
Yeah, without prejudice.
Did they dismiss it, or they filed the dismissal without prejudice?
They constantly filed to try to dismiss it the whole time. First they kept saying immunity, 11th Amendment the whole time.
Well, yeah.
So we have until April to respond.
Have you responded?
We responded this one last time, but we didn't do an appeal, because my thing was, if we appealed that last decision, they were going to just throw it out. So now I'm trying to figure out what the technicality of it is. Because he dismissed it as moot.
Get my information from Daniel.
Okay.
And I'll send you something on it. You just got You just got to respond. But
it's something that's the technicality, because they kept trying to say the sheriff's name changed and this and that when we served, because we had to get somebody, pay somebody to serve them. Then they tried to say he wasn't an employee of the county, he was an employee of the state, and we just went back and forth. Then it was like,
that is a lie. The sheriff is
exactly.
The county. He is the highest.
He said that is a lie. Exactly.
Listen to me. He is the highest elected official in the county. He worked. He's his own constitutional officer, but his finance is controlled by the commissioners, and those who control the finance control the office.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'll have to get with you off of here so you can see it, because we got stacks, and it's like we came so far with this lawsuit. But man,
the worst thing is if they dismiss it can buy you some more time to file a motion to reconsideration. That will extend your time.
I did. That's what I did. Yeah, I filed the motion to reconsideration, and then this last time, that's when he put the moot in there for the hearing, because I demanded a hearing because he wouldn't accept any of the evidence. I'm like, you keep saying that you don't see, or it's hard for you to decipher the intent of what the officer did. So if it's hard for you to decipher, give us a jury trial or a hearing. But he keeps denying that.
Submit the evidence you got. All his case records.
I did.
All that.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we submitted the exhibit. I exhibited and I submitted evidence, and he keeps omitting it. He's saying he's not going to look at it.
The judge?
Mm-hmm.
File writ of mandamus against his ass. You can file a federal writ of mandamus. You're in federal court or state court.
File a writ against the judge.
Court or federal court.
This is at the Middle District Court in Bibb County.
Federal court. So what you got to do is you file a writ of mandamus against his ass. A writ of mandamus, anyone, you don't have to be a lawyer to file. Any citizen can file a writ of mandamus against any public official, and all the writ of mandamus is to force their hands to do the duties entrusted to them.
Now, Bobby,
that's all it is. And anybody can file.
Explain to people what a writ of mandamus is.
A writ of mandamus is to force the duties of a public official. The duties entrusted to them. If they're not doing what they're supposed to, then you can force their hand by filing a writ of mandamus. You can file it in federal court or state court.
Okay.
But since you're already in federal court, file it against him, and then he would have to recuse himself from the case because that's a conflict of interest. He can't hear your case no more.
And see, the problem is, the problem is, and I know
Okay.
it's in our county, is that you run into this game, and when people, and like law knows, if you haven't been a victim of the system, you don't pay attention to it until it's on your front door, and then you're like, okay, now I've been a victim of it. Where do I go? What do I do? And the most common thing that you hear is get a lawyer, right? And then that's another layer of the matrix that you have no idea about, and then you get caught up in that. And then by the time they've exhausted your funds, your mental, your emotional, your physical, you go, I quit. And that's how they get everybody apart. And see, that's why I think, I'm a divine providence type guy. I believe in, that's what guided the founding fathers. And I think that's why, law bringing a group of people together in one isolated area is so important, is because like what Bobby is demonstrating, and what I agree with Bobby on, is you are not going to find help or solutions anywhere in anything connected to the Bar Association. You're not. And so where does this leave us? Well, where does this leave us? Where do you go? Do you go to other institutions like the NAACP or the ACLU? Well, I watched a video that Bobby has on his live last night where he is legitimately claiming, okay, I don't want to steal your thunder, Bobby, but I agree with you. People march, what happens? People have Zoom calls, what happens? People have rallies, what happens? And like I was talking to the people at the protest down the road today, I said, listen, all this electricity at a rally or even a call like this or any of that, that's great. But if there's no direction for that energy to go, what did you do? You just had a static discharge of nothing, right? And so, what I'm hoping and praying for surrounding Law's case and the union of Bobby and now you and soon Mr. McCrary and Mr. Mathis is that something new, and it's going to have to come from community, can be formed that is not beholden to the Bar Association, that is not beholden to the court itself, that is not beholden to public office, and you can't piss off this person or that person because you won't get reelected. Something new has to happen. The government is not here to save us anymore. And if you're paying attention to national news, there's no hope in government anymore. It's over. And I've said this, and the Justice League. You have to have something new. You have to have something that's we the people now. And
well, aren't we kind of doing that? I mean, when you think about it, every time we post our videos to social media, what are we doing? We're seeing people respond. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't come across one that's in disfavor. I have not come across one single person who's seen my video and said, you know what, Sabrina, you're a jerk and you deserve to go to jail just for that reason. I have not had anybody say, Sabrina, they're absolutely right to take you to jail and you should have just cooperated. I'll tell you what I have had. I've had people say, Sabrina, you should change the way you write this because it doesn't make you look good. Well, I can't change who I am, okay? But I'm not any less entitled to my rights because I'm not tactful and I'm not graceful. And, I think that is a major point in bringing community together, is helping them understand, we're not different. We're not different and we talk about this a lot, the color of our skin, who we believe in, or what our sex or whatever it is. We're not different. And this trend that we're developing of putting our content out there and asking for the community to judge us on, I think that is the movement. I think that is the change, be judged by a jury of your peers. Okay, well, who are our peers? They're certainly not the people behind the bench. They're certainly not the people behind the police cruisers. They're certainly not the lawyers who wine and dine with those people. Our peers are you. They're me. They're everybody else on the street around us who has also been infringed upon by officers of the law. So why isn't that the movement that we make?
So what happened with your daughter? The 13, you said 13 when they arrested you.
No,
2000. No,
no, your daughter.
it happened
whenever,
just last year.
because Amy was there.
Okay.
Oh, she was 13. Yeah.
Yeah, but wait, what happened to her when they arrested
My parents had to come pick her
you?
up.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I know they didn't leave her there. They would have been violating the law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Bobby, can I ask you something? In the outpouring of support, everybody's coming to the table with all this information. One of the details that was brought to my attention is that a lawyer or a judge has to sign his full name. He can't use an initial. Is that true?
no, they can't use initials. Because you can actually legally sign your name with an X.
Mm-hmm.
Now, normally they don't do that, but really the judges, they got. Now, this is what is, if you can prove that it's not his signature and that's a stamp, computer generated signature, then that is not binding under the law. It have to be their signature, but a lot of them use time signatures. But if you can prove that it's one, then yes, it's valid. But remember, a warrant is invalid if it does not have a supporting affidavit. So anytime you ask for a warrant, you ask them to give you a copy of the supporting affidavit. But you don't have a copy of the supporting affidavit, your warrant is invalid. Is invalid.
Right from the get-go. So we're coming up on 9, and this is probably going to be like 2 hours and everything. I'm sure we're going to have more of these, but I do want to give everybody time to do like a closing thoughts and closing statements. And I do know that Bobby, you and Law and myself are going to be having some conversations after I hit record. By the way, I need all you guys to stay on after I stop recording so I can get your file, and we can discuss other stuff. But Bobby, you're kind of going to be helping Law navigate through some of these waters without going through the bar association.
We're gonna give him some money, not a lot. We're gonna get him some.
Okay.
Enough.
And like, look, I know Law, he, whenever this happened to him, whenever these types of things happen, we all go into shock. And it's like, the first few thoughts that you had were you wanted awareness, but the more that you had to stew in it, you were like, wait a minute, this is fucking wrong. Like what happened to me was wrong. Right.
Yeah.
So, I want to go, ladies first, Joy, before we do wrap up, go ahead and I want to thank you for what you're doing. And I want to ask you real quick, have you spoken to Police Chief Wayne Fisher about your program, teaching? And the reason I bring this up is me and Mona were at a town hall where, Police Chief Wayne Fisher openly admitted that law enforcement has done more, and I don't want to put words in his mouth, but has done a lot to harm people with mental and emotional disorders because they're not trained to deal with these types of issues. But have you spoken to Police Chief Wayne Fisher in Warner Robins?
So currently I have gotten my proposal together. I reached out to the PD. I've got somebody within the PD that I'm working closely with that are going to kind of connect with me. We're going to do some behind the scenes talks and then get everything presented. And the last thing that they told me was to get a budget plan and let them know what I needed, what I felt like was needed. So I'm working with an organization to kind of help with sensory items, safety restraints, which would be something, to put in place in between the officer and the person with, say, bipolar disorder, autism, whatever. And it would keep them safe, the officer safe, and the child, whether they're fighting or trying to stab or whatever the case may be, you'll have something in place. And then to be able to allow the sensory items, that kind of thing. And then I'm working closely with somebody as far as the ambulance drivers, the fire trucks, just to see if we can get everybody on one accord. I am not doing any communication with the sheriff department at all, because that is the department that caused our family the horrific experience that it did. So I'm going to let the PD work closely with them, and then we figure out how to cross-train or however we decide to do it. And then I'm going to try to get, once I get my nonprofit board together, I'll have board members so that I can have a doctor, a teacher, a ambulance worker, a police officer of my choosing, and then we can kind of come together, do some meetings, and just kind of put together a plan. And what can the ABA therapist offer? What can the mental health counselors offer, because the biggest thing is it's not just the people that need help. Some of these officers are dealing with issues at home. They need some counseling. They need some help. So it's a lot of things that are going on. And I feel like my program, Project BAM, once it takes off, it's going to be able to help a lot of people, because I don't want to make it one-sided and say all cops are bad. We know there are a lot of assholes out here, but not all of them are that way. So for the ones who are willing to learn and that are willing to gain the knowledge on mental health, I am there. I am advocating. I want people in place to help. But for the assholes, they just need to step down. They have ego problems, and they need to find something else to do. That's as blunt as I can make that.
I'm gonna respond to what you just said for our time. Someone asked me that a long time, and I got friends as law enforcement. And I asked this question of that when people say they're not all bad. You're right, they're not. But if good officers are not exposing bad officers for what they do,
that makes them bad.
Good. Because that's kind of iffy situation, because they have a code of ethics. Georgia law enforcement has a code of ethics that they must expose corruption where corruption is. And they don't live by their own methods. They live by their protection each other. So I'm telling you all the time, if there's good officers, then if they're good, why are they not exposing the bad?
Right.
That's true.
We know
very
the saying,
true. So
bad apple,
that's
which they throw at our face all the time, one bad apple, but it's like, finish it. You know, finish it.
Yeah, it's sad, and you know, it's one of those things to where if I could just save one life or help one person, that's
all you can do.
That does enough for me. You know, that's all we can do. And I feel like if you go through something in life, no matter what it is, if you don't take your testimony and try to help somebody else, then what was the purpose of going through it? And so I apply that to everything, whether it be my battle with lupus that a lot of people don't know I'm dealing with, to just raising a child with disabilities, whatever it is, taking the journey that you've been through, giving your testimony and trying to help somebody else. That's really all we can do. And we can't change somebody's character. We can't teach mannerism. We can't really teach a grown person to not be racist. We can't teach all of those things. You know, if you got an ego problem or if you just are hateful for no reason, you can't teach that. That's not something that we can train. But for the people who don't have those issues, I'm more than welcoming to collaborate, and hopefully my organization can start donating some more items. And, you know, I've already given out like 50 packs of pull-ups and wipes to families that didn't have things for their kids. So I'm hoping that once it becomes a major nonprofit, I can do a whole lot more in the community. I can collaborate with other organizations that are on the same page, like-minded people who really just want to see other people win.
Thank you for it.
That's really what it's all about.
Like I said, I have complex post-traumatic stress disorder and legal abuse syndrome, and I really appreciate what you're doing. And so, Bobby, do you want to go ahead and tell people where they can, and Joy, we're going to put all your information, everybody's information in the description box. Bobby, you want to tell people where they can find you and on the interwebs?
Just Google my name; it'll come up.
All right.
Some good, some bad.
Sabrina, what's you're on here all the time, so you don't get no special plug. But what are your what are your final thoughts on all this?
Hey, we need to hear from Law, man. We heard.
Well, he's coming last. I'm saving Law for last. What are your thoughts, Bree?
I mean, at the end of the day, I think, you know, Joy said it best. The community is the focus. You know, I worry where we go when good people keep quiet about evil. You know, we are the good people here, despite the amount of guilt they've inspired in us just by the actions that have been enacted on us. I can't tell you how long I've lived with this feeling of guilt over me just because of the relation to my own family, you know, watching my dad struggle with drugs and being arrested and being painted as a bad guy, you know, that grows with you. You know, Joy experiences an officer who's targeting her and her family. My parents went through the same thing. I watched that growing up. These things trigger things in our brains that we don't even realize until we're confronted with the situation and we can't behave right. And I'm like that guy, I realize. I'm that guy. I'm not graceful. I'm not tactful. Sometimes I can't even think of the words I'm trying to say because my own mental disorders are here, here, and here. And I'm trying to figure out, okay, those are not good moves. Those are not good plays at this particular time, but I can run my mouth. I can do that, you know? I wish I had parents that taught me how to more appropriately deal with police and the bad behavior. But at the end of the day, I didn't learn that. I learned how to run my mouth and know when I'm right about it and to not shut up about it. And that's my style. And I'm hoping, like Joy, that it helps somebody else find their voice and come forward with, these atrocities that it may have happened to them, because the more that we bring exposure to this, the closer we are to eradicating it from our
Now,
system.
Mona, what's your final thoughts on all this? We haven't really spoken about your legal abuse issues, and we're not yet because those are ongoing. But you got any closing thoughts before we take it to law? Law, you see what kind of shit you done got stirred up in Houston County. All right.
It seems like it's been going on for a while, and I'm just hoping we're building a community that'll speak up and hold these officers accountable. Change needs to happen, and that starts with behavior. So that's what I'm looking for, change behavior. I have kids that'll be driving soon, so it's not just about me, it's about my kids, your kids, you right now that's out there driving. And if something has happened, reach out. I think we're building a great community, a great group of people that are here to help. So let's come together and figure out what we can do to make change.
Well, I want to thank everybody. All you guys are awesome. It was going to be more people on here, but I'm pretty sure like we're going to have a rotating cast of characters of people. And you started this shit, Law, so it's all of you. But
Well, Mr. McCrary has me fired up, so I'm looking forward to that interview and getting his I mean, everybody's story is important, but
his was
it's just disgusting.
She could
It
tell you,
needs to
Law,
be
last night after I got off the
highlighted.
phone with him, because he sounded like my daddy. I was like, I had to go outside for a minute. It was horrible, but we'll get him on.
Yeah. 84 years old.
And thank you, Law, for doing what you're doing. I really appreciate it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up and hit stop on the record and put this out as soon as we possibly can. So thank you guys, and we'll be seeing each other.